All right, welcome back to another episode of Tribal Council Talk, a Survivor podcast brought to you by the amazing folks at KMOV, the CBS in St. Louis, Missouri. I am John O'Sullivan, former Channel 4 news producer and Survivor superfan, joined by the amazing Tasha Fox, two-time Survivor contestant and St. Louis area native. So thank you again for indulging and coming with us every week to talk Survivor, Tasha.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
First, we are both a little tired because we had a lot of fun at the Survivor watch party last night with Bryce and Wen at Westport Social. Did you have an enjoyable evening?
Oh my gosh, I had a great time. I didn't realize that the Survivor fan base in St. Louis was so strong, and so it was great to get out and meet everybody. And I can tell you, after the watch party, I was exhausted. It's too much Survivor energy.
Yeah, so many people wanted to meet all the Survivor contestants, including you. It was cool to get to talk to Bryce and Wendell.
And Sifu and Nina was there.
Yeah, I talked to Nina too. I didn't realize she was from the area.
I didn't either. Yeah. So it was great. And then the Squid Games people were there. Yeah. And it was Amazing Race people from St. Louis, Pops and Jeff. Yeah.
It was a fun time had by reality television fans.
Yeah, it was good.
There were quite a few who definitely wanted to meet you.
Oh.
But then the episode they were watching, episode 9 of Survivor, I think, we both enjoyed it, but, not the best of the season so far, but still a lot of cool things.
It's still good, but, I mean, the previous episodes have been so elevated, right? Yeah. That this felt a little more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll be back at it next week.
Of course.
Because Mr. Beast is coming.
Of course.
But coming after, post-tribal, it just seems to be the tale of Rick versus Joe again and again. And I'm wondering when that will come to an end. I have no problem with how Rick's playing. I just think Joe is holding everyone to his standards and not, okay, well, that's how they're going to play. I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah. It's almost like that Aubrey Genevieve energy. Right. Like, they're getting along, but it's like some passive aggressiveness going on.
Yeah, it's like a sorority house.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really thought there was just so much Jonathan in the beginning of the episode. I wrote down, is this the episode Jonathan goes home? Because it just seemed like we were hit with a lot of Jonathan.
Yeah, do you think that it's because maybe Jonathan's starting to elevate in the game, or do you think it's kind of getting a little more shine before it's his time to go? Early, if you're seeing on video, that is Team Tasha and Team John, and we, right now, yeah, it's fine. This is life. But yes, Tasha lost Christian, but she just keeps climbing up in the standings. I have a slight lead, but only because Ozzy got so many extra points, and I am slowly losing my lead. Okay.
Yeah. The thing that I wonder is how many people are pretty sure that Devin's idol is fake, because Stephanie was really questioning him. And
yes.
So I think they're like, we have to put votes on him because we can't be sure, but this is probably not real.
Right. I mean, I think if anyone's paying attention, Devin should have played an idol because he's been on the chopping block pretty securely, right? It's not questionable, but if he hasn't played it in the last 2 scenarios, I think it's safe to say, for them, it's not real.
Yeah, unless you're Rizzo.
Unless you're Rizzo, yes. But I love how Jonathan tells Devin's, it was not a good move, and I love Devin's comeback. Well, the idol isn't active until you bring it back into the camp. I was wondering how he was going to explain that.
No, I thought that was a good explanation.
Yeah, it was great.
But I love Devin's going back at Jonathan, you voted for me.
Yeah.
And I heard my name, but it was that. I love that. Why didn't you tell me? I'm like, you voted for me.
You voted for me.
But then, why does anybody tell Emily anything? Rick, telling her automatically.
Yes, exactly. At the watch party last night, as soon as they're talking to Emily, somebody's like, "Why are you telling Emily?" So I think it's a consensus that everyone feels like Emily shouldn't be told anything.
No.
But I do think Emily is, rightly upset because Devin did put a target on their alliance, with those antics, but. We'll see.
We'll see. I felt, they ended before they opened with Steph saying, I'm going to slit all their throats, but then that didn't really
come to fruition through that episode. So I'm wondering if that's foreshadowing.
I agree.
For down the road.
I thought the same thing. She is really upset.
Yeah.
And she said it was because of Coach and Chrissy, but I didn't realize they were so tight like that.
Well, and then just looking at that, I mean, there's not many old schoolers left.
No, right, but they're still hanging on to that old school alliance.
Yeah, we're all just playing Survivor.
Yeah.
My question was, we come back onto the beach. Ozzy and Rizzo are on the hammock.
Yes.
Does production just like set cameras right by the hammock? Because that's where everything takes place.
I think that is the new confessional location. But everything seems to happen on that hammock. I don't know, maybe laced with something. But I do love that Ozzy and Rizzo now have the heat off of them and their idols. No one seems to be talking about them.
No, especially Rizzo. I mean, Ozzy's name gets brought up, to try to, focus off Christian, but like no one's. And I think that can go either way. If you go back to, now I can't remember his name, in season, there's the young kid in season 41 where he made it all the way to the end and he had an idol, but like no one took him seriously. So it's like, okay, well, who cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if that's like how Rizzo slides through almost to the end.
Right.
Again, like, well, no one's going to vote for you. No,
exactly.
You're not going to win. So why do we even care?
Yeah. And it could just be production and editing, but Rizzo's been a little quiet lately, right? So I don't know if that's his plan to just kind of lay low, because he was getting a little hot-headed there for a while.
We only had like one confessional from the Wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and again, we see the examples of Joe just can't understand the Rick energy.
Yes.
Doesn't know how to work with them. But Suri loves it.
Oh, my gosh. Suri, I loved how she was like naming off her alliance, and I'm like listening. Okay, yep, she has that person. And I'm like, I think she literally just named everyone in the entire game.
She did. I mean, so she had like Ozzy and Rizzo in one column.
In one column.
Christian, Rick, and Emily in another, who still think that she's their fourth.
I know.
And then knowing that her connection with Steph and Jonathan and Joe, and then Tiff and Aubrey are kind of like free agents. But
she's still good with them.
Right. I mean, you saw Tiff and Aubrey. I mean, they're all just sitting next to each other with Suri.
Yes. So, I like it.
Is this setting up for, is this a Suri, finally the Suri win season? I know. And then my only other thing on that was like with Jonathan and Aubrey talking, like I'm wondering if that's really going to come to fruition, or if it's just like they're just talking to talk. Although they did vote together.
They did.
Correctly, but
they did.
I don't know if that's going to be a real thing.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, kudos to Aubrey for trying to figure out something, because it seems like she and Tiff are just on an island by themselves.
Right.
But Tiffany has some connections. Like we saw the last week, I guess, with Joe. And also, she seems to be really tight with Suri. They're not showing it, but I feel like there's a whole vibe with Tiffany and Suri.
Okay. Then anything else before we get to the next Jonathan and Rick?
Let's get to the talk.
So it just seemed to me like, they're basically doing that thing where they're being fake to each other.
Yes.
Like, they know they're lying to each other.
Yes.
And they're just moving past it. But like even Joe supposedly like honor integrity. I'm like, you were going to vote for Rick. So just own up to it.
I agree.
And then, so what is it like when you're with, I mean, these people are experienced and stuff, but when you just have like people who are just butting heads and you like can't get them to move past it, like did you have any experiences like that?
100%. It reminds me of Sarah Lucina and Cass. We are in a good position. We have numbers to flip it on Tony and the crew. And it's like Sarah and Cass could not get past these petty differences. And it was so annoying because you're in the middle and you're like trying to pacify both of them. And it's like, they could not see past like this small issue to look at the bigger game. And then also like, I think of Trish and Cass going back and forth. Now this time I was enjoying it because I'm like, it was good for my game, but just watching people implode, and they're supposed to be alliance members. So it's quite interesting.
So, advice would be to just sit back and keep that as a spectator sport.
Okay. Definitely. You will definitely go further if you don't engage. But sometimes I think you just get lost in the game and you lose sight of really what the big picture is.
I mean, not everyone. I know where they weren't together, but it's like basically what happened with Charlie too. Like you're so hyper focused on one thing that you're not thinking of the bigger picture.
Of the bigger picture, yeah.
I love the quote of Christian and Emily together, where he said they had to migrate the threat to onto Ozzy.
Yes.
And then it goes again. You see Christian, rocking the hammock like he did with Joe at the very beginning.
Yep.
But I think, and I just listened to Christian's exit interview because I was wondering of like, why do people keep saying Ozzy to Suri?
Yes.
And he said they did a great job of not showing that they were that
together.
Aligned as they are. So I guess I can give people more credit now.
Yeah, I'm like, anytime anyone migrates anything to Ozzy, just know Suri's going to migrate it somewhere else.
Right. So we'll see. Well, obviously now Rick and Emily know that they're not with Suri. So we'll see what happens.
It's true.
And then that just awkward conversation of Christian on the beach with Jonathan and Steph and Joe, like sitting there. I was just like, props to Christian for being like, nothing's getting out of this. I'm gonna leave.
Yes, it was so. I mean, and then it's like Stephanie. Is Stephanie, Joe, and Jonathan, like, and they're just looking off. Christian's on the ground, they're on the boat, so he's already in a subservient position looking up to the masters, right? Oh, it was awkward.
So awkward.
Oh, poor thing. Poor thing.
All right, so I did, I wish we would have gotten more of the he who shall not be named, good Harry Potter reference on Ozzy. But yeah, it's just like, this has been multiple times now where people have tried to do Ozzy and Suri has moved it off Ozzy.
Yes.
So it's like, why haven't you really thought like, okay, this isn't going to happen?
Yeah.
And I just think Jonathan would have been the better target.
Totally.
I mean, he's a huge man. Doesn't have an idol.
Yes.
It's like, then you're not going to piss off. Well, you're going to piss off somebody no matter what.
Right.
But I just thought that would have been the easier sell to Suri.
I agree. But there's, clearly some relationships that we're not privy to. And this is the thing about Survivor, like the shoot to show ratio. There's so many things going on, but obviously we don't have enough time to see it all.
Right.
But I feel like Jonathan is playing a better game this season than his first season.
He's thinking things through. I think that he realizes, he gives me the shot in the dark. Like, then we'll vote him out. Like, cutthroat like that.
Exactly. And Ozzy, too. He said he wanted to be more strategic.
Oscar.
Oscar.
Jungle Man.
Yes. Has definitely evolved. It took a long time, but I think I love seeing this Oscar.
Right. And he did have the one, he had the outburst when he got betrayed by Christian and Emily. But that's like when Suri... And was sitting with Ozzy, like after Christian tried to do it, and she's like, "Don't react," and he didn't. He was just like, "You know what? I learned my lesson. I'm just going to sit here and smile."
The same thing she said to Jonathan, like, "Don't make a face. Don't."
Right. Right. She's
I love
smart.
It. Yes, I love it.
And then Suri just puts it back on Christian.
Yep.
Anything else before the challenge?
Oh, let's get to the challenge.
Grip strength, baby. Charlie's right. You got to do grip strength. I love all the videos I see of people. This is like my sister sent me one where I'm like, I'm at the gym, you're like holding on. People think I'm crazy. No, I'm just working out for Survivor. What is your reaction to the Jeff participation?
I was wondering why we haven't seen this before. He's been out there for 25 years. I loved it. It was unexpected. I mean, prior to the teaser, of course, it was unexpected. And, I appreciated my little cameo.
I wrote that down. The brain strap got a little flashback.
Yes. Oh, he was talking a lot of stuff that day. It was horrible, but I thought it was awesome to see Jeff compete in the challenge and for him to recognize you guys are beasts.
Right.
These challenges are not easy. And Jeff's like, how much time is on the clock? 6 minutes, Jeff. And he's sweating. But I thought it was good. What about you?
Well, I thought it was fine that it was for the rice. Like, I was worried that it was going to be for something else. Like, it's an interesting way to do it without it, impacting the challenge.
Right. And I loved Jonathan's negotiation skills. Okay, Jeff, not 5. How about 4?
Right. But they could have gone with 5.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But, as my wife, talked about, she was like, he has nothing to lose besides pride.
Right.
So it's like all those other people are like, we're fighting for, our lives in the game plus
now,
food.
The question is, so we knew for the castaways that the weight was based on their 25% of their pregame weight.
Oh, when did Jeff weigh in?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, it was like when did you do your weigh-in? Was it like before you got to the island, like
Yes.
or after?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I feel like they could have lightened Jeff's weight a little bit.
I
to
did.
make
It was
fair.
a real throwback line too, like as they were going to do the challenge. But Rick was like, "What happens if you win immunity? like what happens if you outlast all of them?" I did love all of the trash talk flashbacks.
Yes,
that was a great.
yes.
You know, to put it in his face.
And
Yeah.
I love Jeff like telling Devin, just drop out so you can
can
like
MC?
MC this challenge.
You know,
Rizzo tried it, but
he did do he did an all right job.
he did. But Jeff's still narrating as he's participating in the challenge.
But it's really just calling himself out.
Yes.
After 7.5 minutes. I did notice that Jeff kept his ring on. And I wanted your thoughts on ring or no rings for doing those challenges.
Definitely ring.
Ring?
I feel like gives you a little more.
Give a little grab on there?
Yeah. A little more friction. Yeah.
All right. Good to know. They keep mentioning that Ozzy needs one more to tie the most. So do you think, what's your money? Do you think Jungle Man's going to win another one?
He's definitely going to get at least one or two.
I don't think they'd keep mentioning it if he doesn't do it.
Yeah. But I've never done this particular challenge, but I feel like whenever they would ratchet back to get the rope back around, I feel like that would take more energy than to just hold it, right? Because they're using energy.
I feel like Joe and other people who have been successful, they don't move.
They don't move, right? But it's like the moment someone tries to reel the bucket back up, they're out.
Right.
So I don't know.
Although I did love Aubrey's reaction.
She
tried.
Yeah. Oh, she tried.
So Joe wins.
Yes.
What did you think of his rock, paper, scissors idea for those people who wanted to go on the challenge?
I thought it was good.
He's automatically like taking himself out of it.
Exactly.
And just putting it back on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you have participated in the journeys?
So this was my thought, because then they kind of changed the rules on a mid-season.
Yes.
Because before this, when people went to exile, they were safe.
Right.
Or they went on something and they came back safe. So I think in their minds, like, okay, well, maybe I won't have to participate. Mm-hmm. And, they saw that's just what happened with Ozzy and Rizzo and with Suri. So
yeah.
I could see it, but, like before I would always have said, like in the new, I was like, I'm not going. Like,
exactly.
Unless you think you're in like a tough spot.
Right.
Like I need something
advantage.
or I'm out.
Yeah.
So, like I don't really know, but trying to prevent someone else from getting it.
Right. Well, after Christian's journey, I don't know how many people
how many more people are
going
to volunteer?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think so. Okay. The rice fight. Where do you stand? Were you on Team Emily or Team Suri on the cooking of the rice?
I'm like Team Suri. I'm with you. The bag is huge. The numbers are going down fast. There isn't much time left in the game. Eat the doggone rice.
Right.
And I'm like, Emily, again, you get so hyper focused on things. Like, you're there for $1 million. You're not there for rice. So if someone wants to cook 5 cups of rice, let them cook it. It's just like...
And I would defer to an old schooler who actually has experience with the rice management.
Exactly.
Not any new schoolers who have been starving the whole time.
Yes. And I don't know. It's just, and we already don't like you.
Right.
You're already annoying us.
Just calm down.
Just calm down.
I do wonder if Christian would have had the rice before his challenge, if that brain power would have helped out.
Great point.
Yes.
It definitely would have.
You hear that? She said I had a great point.
Great point. And I would tell you, there's nothing like Survivor rice. I don't know what it is, maybe because you're just starving, but we would take a little bit of the water from the coconut and then get a little bit of water from the sea. So you get some salt in there. It's like the best water.
I think it's because
rice.
you're starving.
Yeah. Probably, but I'm like, there's nothing like Survivor rice. It's special. Don't take that away from me.
I will not. I can't wait to try some. So we get into Christian's journey.
Yes.
I just coming out, seeing that, the drone shot, I was like, oh, that's the same one from 47.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yes.
I remember loving the On Fire podcast where they described like how they, timed out. I wish I would have remembered how much the time was.
Yeah.
But, like how they had to time it out so it didn't go too deep because they still have to take all of that stuff away from the challenge when it's done.
Yeah.
And just there's so much more dramatic than an hourglass.
Yes. Like you, I'm trying to figure out, okay, is each weight 1 minute. I'm trying to figure out, because Christian's really good at puzzles. So I figured this would be an easy one for him.
Right. I immediately thought, oh, he's getting this too.
Yeah.
But maybe they made it harder than the ball one that Rachel had to do. But,
right.
But it's still so excited. Like, and then hearing the and then the change.
Yes.
That's got to be in your mind more again than just the sand falling through the hourglass.
Right. And then the mind of the challenge makers on Survivor to calculate. I'm sure the depth, the weight of the anchors, the length of the rope to get an exact time. I'm like, these Survivor producers and gods, so we call them Survivor gods. We know who they are. But to come up with the timing on all these. And I would say also, maybe fans don't know, but for the challenges, there is an A-team that runs the challenges before the survivors get there. So everything has to be measured exactly so that it's fair for every castaway. Takes some time and thought, right?
Yeah, I mean, just going, with the immunity challenge too, like having everybody have a different weight, and making sure that everyone's in the same spot.
Yes, exactly.
So do they? Because they don't really say we'll draw for spots. But to go back to the immunity challenge, would that be pre-set up so everyone knows where they're going to be, or they would draw for spots and then they'd have to do the weight?
On this particular challenge, it would have already been established because of
the weight.
The body weight, okay. Exactly. So you would go to your specific platform. There was a challenge where Spencer and I, we stood on our toes, I think for almost an hour and a half, but it had to be measured to our heights.
Right.
But that particular challenge, I don't think people knew. Like, I had water shoes that had extra soles, and that day I put extra soles in my shoe, so I had a little bit of an advantage.
Good call. All right.
You just never know.
Bring the inserts.
But that challenge for them to calculate that time for Christian, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes, I am definitely going to go back and listen to that On Fire podcast episode because, it really breaks it down. I remember loving that.
Nice.
What did you think about the part 2 of the Jimmy Fallon earn advantage?
I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it would be bad. I was sad.
My thing is, it almost has the, where he has to go back and read the note, it almost is the same, which is why I don't like the knowledge is power, where it takes away your ability to lie, which is a key part of Survivor, which is the only part I don't like about the knowledge is power and with this, the fact that you have to tell everyone like what
happened.
It was.
Yeah,
because you never know how he could have scrambled around.
Right.
If he
I know
could have done something.
And it's like the producers kind of insinuated, okay, well, he voted for himself, so then the people, the castaways were saying, well, he's already got one vote. Right. Let's just make it easy. Had they not known that there was already one vote against him, would have gone a different way.
Right. Yeah. Probably not, but who will know?
Right.
Now?
We don't know.
Come on.
Yeah, and that was what Rizzo said, like, hey, this guy, he's already got a vote.
Yeah, why are we trying to make it easy? I mean, you could get rid of Emily, next week. Why are we worrying about that?
I'm with you. Sometimes I think Survivor kind of overextends and
having him read his note of shame.
Manipulates the game a little bit. Yeah.
But I'm wondering if he realized, that's why he gave the shot in the dark. If Jonathan realized that it was like an empty gesture.
Right. I didn't understand that.
Because you have to have the ability to vote.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like what happened with Colby, where like Colby couldn't vote, so he's gone.
Yes.
So he can't play a shot in the dark.
No.
But I'm wondering if Jonathan realized that it's a worthless thing, but it's a nice show of support. I don't know.
Yeah, I wondered that too. I'm like, maybe Jonathan just didn't know. But isn't that like not common knowledge though, that if you don't?
It is. Yeah. It was like it was. But I'm just wondering if he didn't even think about it, because technically he can vote. He's just being forced to vote for himself.
Oh, okay. True.
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 So it's weird.
Yeah.
I did love the editing shot of it was like, he's narrating the note, but then they cut to him at the confessional just looking at the camera. I was like, I love that. I love that little thing.
Yeah. What did you think about Tiffany telling Devins to play his idol?
Well, it's it's one of those things of if anyone says play your idol, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. But then I started thinking of, well, she's from 46, where everyone went home with an idol in their pocket.
Yes.
So it's not like I'd be listening, but I guess I can understand her perspective. But it's not like they've been working together for that long,
right,
or even at all. So I'm like, why am I even listening to you?
Yes.
And we already just saw Aubrey regretting playing an idol when she really didn't need to.
Do you think Tiffany's just trying to like garner goodwill with Devin's in case he does stay? She's like, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up. Like, your name's out there.
Either way, or just making sure that it gets flushed out. But yeah, again, you better play your idol. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. So did you think at all that the Emily, like, try to flip it to Emily was going to change anything?
I did. Maybe, well, yeah, because I haven't been Emily's biggest fan, so I was hoping that shift would stick on her, but it was like not enough time really to make it happen. So I figured.
So it was so close to tribal. Would you say but in your experience, have you seen where it does change so fast?
Oh yes. Okay. Oh, it can change on a dime. But the thing is, like, for days and days we've been talking about it. Maybe minutes before tribal council, the plan may actually come together, but like, these conversations have been going on for days. So I think to the fan, it looks like somebody's name just got thrown out there at the last minute. But no, as a survivor, if you haven't been thinking about Emily for the past 3 days, you're not in the game. So yeah.
My question I was going to ask you is, when there's all that scramble right before tribal, how does that impact when like someone's having to go off and do a confessional or an interview, and then you come back and you're like, what?
Yeah. Without saying too much, sometimes it's intentional. I'll just say that.
Oh, you'd be like, oh, you need me for an interview? And just kind of take yourself out of the equation.
Exactly. If somebody's on a walk and things are happening, just know sometimes the survivor gods don't have your best interest at heart.
Understood.
Okay? Got it.
Anything before tribal council?
Nope.
All right. We get there. I do love Christian's little talk that the rice was fueling his rage. From his point of view, he thought Ozzy was going home.
Yes.
So do you think he was trying to play up his story to the jury with like having to retell it because everyone kind of knows what's going on?
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
Oh God, we're so smart.
We are so smart.
But that, and then I wrote it like this. Is this going to change everyone's mind? But like I'm not going on any more journeys.
Yeah, I definitely think people are starting to second guess. I think Cerie's journey was when people were like, oh, this can be a good thing because it worked so well in her favor, which is, I think, why more people wanted to try to go on this journey. But yeah, I think after seeing what happened to Christian, nobody will go on a journey.
No, yeah, it was going to be they're going to have to force to go.
Agreed.
So then we see, and again.
What did you think about the jury? Their reactions?
Oh, well, I mean, I did see a couple shots of Dee and Chrissy. Like, it seemed like they were leaning in and talking.
Yes.
And, Coach is, putting on a show as he does his turnaround.
Yes.
But, like, how much talking is on like, going on the jury? I know you only had one jury. Would you say, like, how much are they interacting and talking?
I think it's usually very little because you want to hear what the castaways are talking about. But sometimes someone will say something that just sparks you and you want to make your comment. Because in Ponderosa, all you're doing is talking about who you like, who you don't like, what's happening. And so when the castaway says something that triggers that, you got to check in. But I love Coach's strut out, the runway turn.
Yeah, just giving a little spin.
Like, Coach is looking good.
The thing that I just thought, but this is Dee and Chrissy's first experience on a jury.
Yes,
so they are,
true.
hopefully enjoying showers and food and looking nicer.
Yes, and I was going to say they all look good.
Yeah.
As someone who's sitting in the castaway seat, when you see those jury members come in and they're showered, their hair is done, you can tell they've been eating. Oh, you get jealous.
Yeah.
So
it becomes a foregone conclusion. Christian's going home.
Yes.
So he votes for himself.
Yes.
And Joe, Rizzo, Cerie, Tiffany, and Aubrey. Then Ozzy, Jonathan, and Stephanie vote Devin. So at least Jonathan kept his word
Right.
to Christian.
Yes.
And then, Rick and Emily voting for Ozzy. But what did you think of Jonathan giving him back the shot in the dark?
Oh, I thought that was like very, very kind. Yeah.
Not jury management.
Oh, definitely jury management. Yeah.
And then, hey, we're finally getting Mr. Beast coming up next week.
Yes.
Which I did listen to a pretty interesting interview that he did with Rob Cisternino. And
Okay.
he seems like he's really into it. He said he really loved his time out there.
Okay.
He said he got a lot of like just driving around and talking with Jeff.
Wow.
So I can't wait to see.
I know.
what
What's
it
in the
is.
box?
Right.
What's in the box?
At least with this, I mean, I wish there were no celebrity cameos or, like named idols or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at least in this, as opposed to Zach Brown, like he has experience with this type of competition.
Yes.
And so he knows like this is what's at stake, and
Right.
like he has that.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm at least excited a little bit.
apparently the Zach Brown cameo is getting a lot of flack.
Well, I think we said like it's too much that he got a confessional. I didn't want a Zach
Yeah.
Brown confessional.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it went on a really long time. I was like, so you get a Zach Brown confessional, we get your whole talk about diving, and we get a concert. I was like, I know they're 90-minute episodes, but come on.
Well, and then I heard too, someone said that Billie Eilish wasn't even aware that there was a Billie Eilish idol. I'm like,
Oh, really?
Well,
what's the point of that then?
you
Should have named it the Tasha Fox Boomerang Idol.
this is just word on the Survivor streets. The fans are talking.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts before we talk about our teams again?
No, I thought it was just a good episode.
Right.
Kind of reminded me of classic Survivor. So.
Right. This is what everyone knows is going to happen. We're going to try to produce it so people.
Yes.
It's not exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
But
Yes.
in the end, everything happened how everyone thought.
I agree.
All right. Well, Noah, let's put up that on purpose this time. The for the video audience, our fantasy teams.
Woohoo!
Team Tasha keeps climbing the ranks. With
Yes.
Still, she lost Christian, but still has Joe, Suri, Tiffany, Aubrey, and Emily. Well, Team John is Stephanie, Rick, Ozzy, Jonathan, and Rizzo. The point totals stand at Tasha 116, John 123. So my lead is dwindling.
Okay,
You keep
okay.
getting bonus points for challenge wins.
Whew.
And the only reason I'm ahead is because Ozzy got so many of those extra points.
Yeah,
early in this
I'm
season.
looking at your tribe, and Ozzy and Jonathan, the Challenge Beast, you and Stephanie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
you-
not performing as well as I would hope they would be.
Yeah,
And,
you're looking strong though. You're looking strong.
and again, it comes down to you get a lot of points for making the final four, making the final
Yeah.
treble, comes to the winning.
Yeah.
So it can, it could come down to whoever has the most people in the final four.
Exactly.
Will do it. And
Right. And we have on both of our tribes people that are working together. So
Right.
like you got Ozzy, I have Sari,
I just keep thinking that is it gonna be Suri, Ozzy, Stephanie in the final? I just don't
yeah.
see Rizzo making it
No.
to the final.
Yeah.
And especially not with Rick and Emily having so many targets on their back.
Yeah.
I just don't think.
Yep.
Although in the preview it looks like between Rick and Aubrey as opposed to Emily,
Right.
but
It's true.
that's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It could go either way, John.
So that does it for us for another episode of Tribal Council Talk. I look forward to next week and another episode of Survivor and another
Me
episode
too.
of Tribal Council Talk. So Tasha, thank you again for joining.
Thank you, John.
And we will be in your ears next week. Thanks.
Bye.